what we wanted out of a marriage. It didn't have to be with her specifically, but it was like what I saw myself wanting out of a marriage.
I wish that I could figure it out or figure you out so that we wouldn't have to need therapy. It was a great decision. I feel like we've evolved so much.
Girl, you can lap the thing way
around the whole thing.
What did I do? I overcooked them, right?
Oh my God.
I overcooked. What did I do? Did I overcook them?
Bro, I'm crying, dog.
As your wife, looking at you now from the beginning of therapy to where we're currently in our status, I would say that things have changed in amazing ways. Is this thing on? Guys, it's officially episode 2 of Excuse My Feelings. This one is going to be very interesting because we have a special guest, and this special guest, obviously it's my wife.
Yay!
But my special guest is my first special guest, which is even more amazing, and I love the fact that it's you. So can you introduce yourself other than just my wife?
What am I supposed to say? Nah, I'm Steph. It's me. Hey, Steph C, the other half of StephSquared TV. That rhymes.
It did.
Oh my God.
Fun fact, you guys, Steph can rhyme on drop of the hat. Like,
hey, don't tell him. This might turn into a whole damn hip hop track instead. Don't say it.
Did you used to you gotta tell them how you used to during lunchtime in school.
All right now. Okay, we talking about a long time ago.
You don't have to date yourself. I'm just saying, you were, you were the hot commodity. She was the one that, used to do it at the lunch table.
I don't know about the hot commodity, but you know what I'm saying? We chilled at the lunch table, with the cool kids.
I feel like that's exactly. I feel like
beatboxing, beating down with the 2 pins on the table, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Had a little flow to it.
I love that for you.
If I had a table right now, I'd tear it up. No. Let me stop.
So how long have we been together, babe?
You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you so you can tell the people.
I don't really know, man. How long has it been?
What you mean you don't know?
I don't know. No, okay. We've been together for going on 7 years. 7 years, September 1st. Together. Yeah. Married. 3 years, September 1st. I have to always explain that because I don't always quite remember, but I do remember that we got married on our 4th year being together, so that always helps me.
Absolutely.
Yes, that I could do the math then.
Yeah, So, to ask you, what does marriage mean to you?
Damn, we jumping right into it.
Yeah.
What does marriage mean to me?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
I have lots of layers to that.
We jumping right into it. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What does marriage mean to me? Unfortunate compromise. Let's see.
Unfortunate compromise.
Unfortunate compromise. Marriage means. I feel like marriage is like a lot of lessons. I think it means commitment, devotion, honor. But I think marriage is work, But yeah, I do think it means devotion, honor, compromise, love. I mean, love is there, right? But it's like there's just so much other shit to marriage. It's like love is like the bottom of the barrel. Yeah. I feel, respect. I don't know. I just, it's not like I don't know, like when you're a kid or something, or you want to write, what I want my future or whatever to be, and I want them to love me, trust me, it's like that's like the bottom of the stuff. Yeah. Obviously trust. Yeah, trust is big, but I think if you do things right, the love is there. Yeah. It comes with it. But I just think there's just so many other things because people can, you can love someone in marriage and treat them like shit. And then so it's like, what kind of marriage is that?
Yeah.
You know, or you can love someone and not connect with them. So what kind of marriage is that? So I think it's a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think of, when it comes down to marriage, I think about all the conversations that we had. When Steph and I first got together, we started off the relationship, if you will, with conversations about future. And when I got with Steph, I was not thinking about future. I wasn't thinking about like the longevity of a relationship, just because of my upbringing and how like my past, like, it really affected what I wanted out of a relationship. And with being with Steph, she really put a lot of things in focus for me. And it was like, you have to be willing to, if you find your person, like she said, compromise, but also be willing to check yourself and see if you were thinking about these things because of prior situations, or the person that you were in a relationship with prior to the person that you're in a relationship currently, and how those things can also make you change and make you feel. But one of the biggest things that like Steph and I really focused on was understanding what we felt was necessary in marriage, or what we felt was like what we wanted out of a marriage. It didn't have to be with her specifically, but it was like what I saw myself wanting out of a marriage, and what I really wanted to be my core in our marriage, in my marriage with a person. And one thing that I absolutely loved, and one thing that we really connected on, was always trying. And in the scope of always trying and always trying to make sure that our relationship got better, we ended up actually starting therapy. And as couples therapy, one of the biggest things that I love is that my wife has always been like, I'm down. You want to do therapy? Let's do it. If there's a marriage conference or something that we could do to better our marriage, not saying that our marriage is not great as of what it is, but it can always be better, and we can always find a way to make things better. So we started on our journey with couples counseling over a year now ago that we started. How do you feel as an adult going into therapy?
Well, now I feel, good about it, happy about it. Happy that we definitely made that decision. But I think initially, I didn't know how I felt about it initially. I think initially, obviously, our steps for going into therapy, although, I would say we have pretty good marriage, overall, obviously. But yeah. I think that the initial thing was the miscommunication, because we're different people. And so for me, going into therapy in the beginning, I think it was a lot of beating myself up a little bit, is how I felt, like personally myself, because I was just like, well, I wish that I could figure it out or figure you out so that we wouldn't have to need therapy. But then one thing that, I always end up doing, especially when people are like, I've been together for years, I'm like, hey, tell me something good. Yeah. Not necessarily what's your secret, but I want to know. Tell me something good. I always like, tell me something that I need to know. And one big thing was therapy that came up a lot with people, and, learning to finally understand each other. And some people, they were like, yeah, we've been together for like 65 years, but the first 15, we're two strangers, and, for us, we're like, wow, well, we're not the only ones who, can't communicate or miscommunicate, or not the only ones who don't necessarily get each other fully, like I said, because we're night and day. Yeah. But hearing other people obviously get through it finally was encouraging. But like I said, I think me going into therapy at first, I was just like, man, I've been in therapy already when I was younger. I don't know that I felt like I wasn't really set on going to therapy as an adult anymore, just because I had been through it as younger. But then I was like, what? We need something. It, like I said, just hearing it from other couples that were like, no, therapy was good, because it just it helps someone to be there, to be like, to help get the understanding. Yeah. And but I did beat myself up about it a little bit. I just kind of was like down on myself, or our marriage a little bit, like, well, man, I wish we could figure it out on our own. But you know what? Sometimes you can't. And honestly, it doesn't even matter, because it's now, we know it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we have our therapist, and I'm glad we go to, therapy and, marriage counseling, whatever, every week. And that's just something we do. And who knows if we'll always do it. But we do it for now. Yeah. And we like it. And it helps, So, now I feel good about going to therapy. I feel like it was a great decision. I feel like we've evolved so much since, obviously with therapy, it's like you'd have to have the willingness and the want to do it. Just can't, go to therapy and, therapist gives you homework and you don't actually do it because then it's not going to help. But obviously both of us having the willingness to try, willingness to grow, willingness to figure it out together, where it's not like I'm dragging you or you're dragging me. I think that makes it better. Yeah. But I would say overall, yes, I feel good.
Yeah, no, I think you had a great points there. Like, it's never like a dragging situation. It's like, you just like, that the time is coming, that the date, like, for example, our appointment is always on a specific day. We know the specific time is like, all right, like getting ourselves ready. It's never like, oh man, like we have to go to therapy again. Like even like, we just recently came back from vacation and we did therapy while we were on vacation. And I thought it was great. We kept consistent, and I love the fact that even our therapist was like, you don't have to go to therapy while you're on vacation. And we're like, no, we want to. Like, it's our thing. It's the best time to really kind of, even if we were having a great week, but the week prior we had like a disagreement that we're still trying to figure out, or we want to find a better way to better communicate ourselves, we still took the time to give ourselves an hour and go, let's focus on our relationship for this hour, and then the rest of it, have fun and do whatever. But it felt really well to just take that time for ourselves and understand that, like, even when we're on vacation and having fun, there's still work that can be done within our relationship. And I feel like it's great. I feel like it's always like, in my mind, I'm like, my relationship comes first. And even when we're on vacation, obviously our relationship still comes first on our vacation, but it's like, it's enjoyable to know that my partner is like, no, let's go to therapy. Like, let's go. Like, we'll have therapy moments where, let's say, for example, if I'm going through something as far as like my anxiety is acting up or whatever, Steph gives me the space to go, you know what, this appointment is for you. Like, even though she's still there and is my support system, she still lets me have the floor to talk about whatever, like for me, like I said, like my upbringing wasn't the most idyllic with my life and my upbringing. It's just comforting to know that one, my partner is so open to the fact that therapy is great, and then two, the ability to have the floor. And even when there's certain things like if work is getting really busy for Steph and she needs the floor for her to speak and have her own session, that's completely available for her too. So I absolutely love that, and I don't think that I would have been able to get to that if it wasn't for where we stand as far as our relationship, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, let me ask you this though, but what do you feel like right now is like your biggest takeaway from therapy?
My biggest takeaway from therapy, that's a great question.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know. I feel like there's so much, but I think my biggest takeaway from therapy was understanding that my communication is not as strong as I thought it would be, or I thought it was. Like, I'm not so great of a communicator. And therapy has really taught me that you may think that you can communicate well, but if you don't communicate in a format that your partner understands, you're not actually communicating. And I actually have two big takeaways, is that I'm a horrible person at apologizing. I cannot apologize. That is not something easy for me.
Negative takeaway. It's horrible of a person. I'm
bad at communicating.
I'm like, dang, bad at communicating. I can't apologize.
Yeah.
These people they're not going to go to therapy. That's what you're trying to do.
No, but okay.
I'm just saying. So, give me something positive, man.
All right. The good parts of therapy is it taught me to love myself, and it also taught me how to love my partner.
Okay, see, word.
Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah, because the biggest thing that I learned within those two positive aspects of it is that I had to understand that, like, all my quirks, all my things that I have within me, I have to love those so that I can love my partner. That's definitely a big take. What about you? What do you take away?
You gave me something. You were losing us.
No, I wasn't losing you.
These are some bad things that I learned in therapy. I don't have anything good.
Well, no, it's not bad. It's like you're realizing you're like, you're not as
No, that's true.
You think this whole time you're like, man, like my partner doesn't get me. I'm a great communicator. I feel like I'm communicating. It's like, are you though?
Oh no, I could have told you that though. I know I did. As a matter of fact, I did. Yeah, because boy, I don't know.
I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress. I'm like, Picasso is still working on me.
Not Picasso is still working. Who's the Picasso? Who's working?
The therapist is Picasso.
Is Picasso?
Mm-hmm. You see where I'm going with this?
I'm going to text her and let her know that you called her that. I'm going to text her and say that Stephanie said that you were Picasso. Mm-hmm. Apparently, she's the canvas on an easel.
Yeah.
Yep, and you're just working on her? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's not how it works, because the thing is, you're working on you too. So, like, if she was just painting you.
Okay. I like how deep you got there. Okay.
Okay. You asked me. All right. My biggest takeaways, I think, definitely my biggest takeaway is patience, learning to be more patient. Obviously, yeah, I'm not, a patient person. Mm-hmm. But I guess with certain things, I have patience in me. Mm-hmm. It's just like, kind of like when people are like, oh, you're going to make time for the things you want to make time for. Mm-hmm. I feel like, what I'm saying, I got the patience for the things I want to have the patience for. Yeah, yeah. So, like for me, boy, I'm so patient with like parking spots. Oh my God.
Girl, you can lap the thing wait
around the whole thing.
You would literally wait for a parking spot, and it could be a little viejito that's going to his car, and we love our viejitos, but you will follow that viejito to his car and wait until he done put everything away in his shopping cart.
We no rush.
No rush.
No rush it.
It's crazy that you say that. You say you're in no rush, but everything else in life, I think parking spot is the only thing that you are not in a rush for.
Oh my
everything
God.
else, your rest of your life,
I feel like finding a parking spot is like
relaxing.
Yeah, just chilling, riding around. Even when we're rushing, I'll be rushing to the gym. Yo, I have to freaking hurry up. I gotta get up out the house. I'm out as soon as I get to the parking lot. If I don't find a spot right away, it's like I'm cruising around, perusing. I'll be like, you know what? Something's already here. It's like 5 minutes. Something's good is gonna come out. Yeah, something's good is going to come up. But but with like other things, I just don't be so patient. Mm-mm. Like I just anything like driving, I'm impatient. I drive impatient all the time. Great driver though, Got to toot my own beep beep. But I don't know.
How you have a truck and a little car?
Beep beep. I'm a big dog and a little dog. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I vote.
The way you describe yourself.
Oh my God. No,
okay, so you said patience.
But anyway, yeah, patience. So I feel like I could have patience. But something, like I said, like driving, man, I'm like, oh, it burns my soul. Like having to sit traffic or sit behind people. Driving me, I'm so impatient, but also in relationships and in stuff. And with people, I am so impatient with people. But like you said, like if like a older lady or something, we've been in the store and a little old lady, needs something or pushing a shopping cart, and I'm like, hey, I'll push it for you, even though I was just like rushing. I'm like, get the stuff, let's go.
We've been here for 30 minutes.
Let's go. For 30 minutes, I see an old lady out there, pushing a little. I'm like, hey, I can push that for you. I'm running to help.
And you always, she'll put an arm out.
Put the arm out so they can hold me, and I'm like, let's go to the car, and it's like, now, I'm not rushing. Yeah. But like I said, but with us or something, or like, you said, whenever we're talking and conversing, and I'm like, I feel like that's my biggest takeaway, hands down, is just like the patience. I'm trying to learn more that I have it in me. Mm-hmm. I just don't. I don't be knowing to use it. I don't know. I don't be knowing to use it.
Oh my God.
I don't know. That's my biggest one. Mm-hmm. That's my biggest one. Some of the little ones, but that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah. Biggest takeaway. So, you had mentioned earlier, like, that you felt a certain way about doing therapy for our relationship, and I feel like that's very common. Like, people, like, when they think of therapy, they think of it, which is crazy because we're in 2024 and people still think that therapy is so taboo, and it's so like frowned upon. And it's like, for me, I'm like, I don't know, like, when I think of therapy, I think of going to the doctor. I think of it as like in the most positive way, like, okay, I'm going to the doctor, they're gonna tell me what's wrong so I can fix myself.
I feel like you feel that way now.
No, I felt like that.
I don't know if I agree.
No, I do. I've always felt that way because
I'm gonna call Cap, man. I'm gonna call Cap.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I feel that way because even when I was younger and I was in therapy too, I didn't like therapy because of the assumptions that the therapist made on me and like everything that I went on. But I still wanted to go to therapy. Like, I still wanted the help, if you will. Okay. Why do you feel like it's...
Cap, sorry. You know why?
Why?
Because when we first were talking about therapy, obviously, we as a couple, I feel like couples counseling and when, talking about going to couples therapy, you were like, oh, okay, we could do that. You were amped about that. But like, just with our own stuff, when we first were talking about doing like individual therapy, you were like, no way, Jose. Like, you were like, nope, hell no, can't drag me there. And you were like, taking it so like, you think I need therapy? Like, you about to, like, I don't know. It seemed like you were gonna like denounce cleaning the house for like weeks or something if I mention it one more time. Like, I got one more time, I swear to God, I will never lift a mop in here. Like I was just like, dude.
Never lift up. Is that your biggest fear?
Never give some booty. No.
It's the booty.
That's my biggest fear, is the booty. But I don't want to make it seem like I domesticated.
No,
I don't do anything. We obviously we have an agreement.
We have an agreement.
So you guys know we have an agreement.
I'm the cleaner.
Correct.
So that is our. I think we drew that land. Like, what is it called?
That line, that boundary
line in the sand.
No, yeah, for sure. So we
super
said that
early.
Super early.
Because you were like, oh, do you know how to... Well, first of all, let's start off with the fact that I made Steph pancakes one time, really early in our relationship, and I burnt... First of all, I burnt these pancakes. They were pieces of paper thin of pancake. It was terrible. Either way,
flat as
we're not going to talk about my pancakes, okay? I already said that they were terrible.
Oh my God.
So
I felt like you know that.
We're not going to talk about my pancakes. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to talk about those pancakes.
Mixed it real fast. It's like you put it on a pan for 10 seconds each side.
I feel like your 60 seconds are up. Anyway,
you know what? I didn't say nothing to you anyway. At first, them little pancakes, they had like sprinkles on them. You're like, funfetti is your favorite.
Funfetti is your favorite.
Yeah, man. Did you try to? Matter of fact, I can't remember. If
I don't think I did.
You didn't try them, did you?
I think I literally emptied out the whole box of pancake mix, and I think the only viable ones were the ones that I gave her.
Man, yeah, I don't think you had any pancakes. I'm so glad you didn't. I feel like you would have been embarrassed if you did.
Probably.
Yeah, because I let it rock for a little bit. Then you try to say something about, you know what I let it rock to? Well, we going off topic, but you know what it was when you tried to say something about being like a good cook or something, like you could cook, or you were trying to cook something else. You're like, oh, I'll make breakfast something. I said, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna draw a line. You don't got to cook for me again.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna communicate with you and tell you.
Let you know something. I tried to be nice about it at first. But
you were.
I was nice about it. I ate it. I ate every last crumb. The whole thing was crumbs, but I ate it.
You were a good sport. One, but we're not gonna talk about the pancakes. We're over our 60 seconds. But that is the line. It was definitely, the line was drawn then.
Are we really done with the pancakes?
Yeah.
Did you know what else I was talking about?
No.
The gnocchi situation.
What did I do? I overcooked them, right?
Oh my god!
I overcooked. What did I do? Did I overcook them?
Bro, I'm crying, dog. I'm crying. Yo, dude,
did I overcook them,
you
bro?
overcooked them. Then they were bland. Then you tried to make Alfredo sauce. I don't know what you did.
It was bad. Like my cooking is better now.
Heavy cream on gnocchis.
No.
Dash some salt. And it was the oregano.
Shut up. The fact that she remembers in detail, first of all, I think I blacked those memories out of my brain.
Oh my god, you thought you seasoned that thing up, boy. You was like, yeah.
Cute with you. Oh my god.
No, you cook better now.
Oh my god, I do cook better. It's definitely midnight, guys, so we're a little delusional.
No.
With that being said, that was when the line was drawn, because obviously I could not cook and I couldn't follow instructions to save my life. Yeah. So Steph was like, I'm gonna cook. Thank God Steph can cook actually very well.
But back to what we were saying.
but I'm the one that cleans.
Digress, yeah.
But yeah.
But we were talking about, because I was saying that at first with therapy, you, man, we had one road down the rabbit hole. I was saying at first with therapy, I feel like when we talked about going individually, you were like,
Yeah.
And then it was when I said, we talked about going as a couple, that's when you were like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, together, 100%.
Yeah.
But like when I was like, hey, yo, you want to, I'm saying, maybe you want to go because, I
had to face my demons.
I feel like you had some trauma. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like, same thing. I do as well. We all do. It was like, I feel like you have some trauma that you could really, work through.
Yeah.
You even said it. And I was like, hey, well, what about therapy? Sure. And you're like, what, you gonna put me in the nut house next? Like, I was like, ma'am, how did this get here?
Yeah.
How did this escalate?
I think for me, I was really scared. When Steph and I like really got together and when we were having these conversations, I was kind of like in denial of like how anxious I was, how like I would have spurts of like depression and stuff like that. And I think I was like really nervous to actually like pay attention to it. Like when you were pointing it out, I was like, no, I feel like I'm fine. Like I don't have to like deal with these things. Are you still crying about the pancakes?
No, I was earlier. Yeah, and the little tears they were making my eyelashes stick together for a second. I was like, wait a minute, it's still a star.
I'm done.
Continue.
But yeah, I really felt like I was really anxious about going to therapy to talk about my anxiety. Like I felt like when you were bringing it up and you're like, like maybe you should go and talk to a therapist and just like kind of unpack everything that you're going through. I was delulu. I was completely delulu. I was in denial of the feelings that I was going through. Not the feelings, but what I was going through. Like, because if it wasn't for you really putting it out there and telling me like, hey, like you have some like depression and you know, you have your depression like spells, I think I still would have been in denial. I would have been like, I feel like sometimes I'm not the best and then sometimes I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I see why you say that it's like, it's cap, but it's honestly like, it's not cap. I think it was just me being in denial.
It's still cap. You didn't want to go. And he was like, oh, I was ready since I was a kid. It's not true.
Yeah.
No, you wasn't ready.
No, I wasn't ready, but I am thankful that I am ready now. And like,
oh my God, forget it.
Do it again.
No, see, no, you can't.
Do it again.
Me, man.
Thank you.
Would you? We got a handshake. For
we
real.
do.
You don't even remember our handshake. It's been a while since we did our handshake. Wow. Beep, beep, beep.
I was going to ask you, do you feel like our relationship would be at where it's at now if it wasn't for therapy?
Like I said, I feel like, you know, we're committed to working on things. Mm-hmm. But not here right now at this very moment. I don't know. I don't think so. Mm-hmm. I think maybe we get here eventually. Mm-hmm. No, not right now. Not here. I was like, not so fast, but you know, we really weren't getting each other.
Yeah.
You know, in the perspective where we're coming from. Like
we were living two separate like thought processes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're still in two separate thought processes. However, I understand where you come from. I have a little bit. I have more understanding. You have more understanding where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And then we have, I don't want to say like empathy, but like, I guess it comes down to compromise. But I know there's another word for it. I just can't find it right now, and I'm not gonna, you know. But pretty much like that, like the compromise to be like, oh well, you know, I want to get where you're coming from, even though I don't agree, you know, stuff like that. Like, again, I can't find that word, but yeah.
I can't find the word, but it'll come to me at some point.
But yeah, that, for sure.
No, I think the fact that our relationship has changed, I wouldn't say drastically because I wouldn't say that it was like an extreme change. I just think that the key things that did need to be changed, I love the fact that they have changed and that they're still working to be better, you know, like with things. And I love that.
This is individual change too.
Like, I was going to get to that, yeah. Yeah, definitely individual change. No, go ahead, continue.
No, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Individual change, I think just as your wife, looking at you now from the beginning of therapy to where we're currently in our status, I would say that things have changed in amazing ways. I think also for as far as like you understanding yourself, because there's so many aha moments in therapy with us and with you, and I love seeing when you have like a moment of going like, okay, like I can understand how I can change this, or I can understand how if I do change this in my life, I will be able to do this next thing, if you get what I'm saying. So
for sure.
I do love seeing those aha moments because they make me feel good that you feel better.
I do be feeling better about stuff, but you know, because sometimes, like I said, you know, people do certain things too where you may not even understand yourself or why you did it. Mm-hmm. So, and you know, for me, I'm always like searching for answers. It's like I gotta know, I gotta understand. Like I don't like not knowing. I don't know, or I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm this way. Is not necessarily. That's not an answer for me. So it's like, I like when I can understand something better. Because like I said, I mean, it's plenty of times people like, you don't even know how you felt about something. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, maybe you thought, oh, I'm cool with this. And maybe part of that is denial, or even like almost like a block, you know, like how when you're traumatized and you, or get traumatized and you like block certain things. Yeah. I feel like when you're taken back by certain things or caught off guard or something surprised, I feel like sometimes, or at least for me, I feel like sometimes it's like a block, and it's like, okay, so I don't really recognize, like almost like a distant memory. Like I don't even know how I feel about that for real. Yeah. And then when you really start to, but it's like I don't know how. Like I think I feel one way about it, but then it's like, but my actions or something show different. Yeah. And it's like, I don't understand why they don't match. You know? But then when you start to unpack it, you realize, okay, no, I I felt differently about the situation. I guess that did bother me. You know, I guess I was hoping that it didn't, or, you know, just stuff like that. So I guess those aha moments that you're talking about, I feel like it's normally that when I'm like, okay, well, no. If I don't realize that, no, I was actually happy about that, you know, situation or something like that. You know, it's like,
yeah,
it's interesting because, you know, while unpacking this, like, okay, I like those moments because I like to understand, like, I don't know, you ever be feeling like, we've talked about, like, if you feel away and you're like, I don't even know why I feel this way. Like,
absolutely.
I can't even tell you why I'm this mad. Like, I'm mad about something. I don't even know why.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even be mad about that. Like, it's like, well, you know, maybe you're mad about that because this other thing happened, or that related to this, or maybe you're mad about that because you felt like it went about it this way, or, you know, so, yeah, so I like those moments. I really don't, I don't like to feel ways, like, I don't like to be pissed off and not know why.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you're having a cricky day, just be mad for no damn reason, just roll out of bed angry.
Yeah.
For no reason. It's like, why am I like this? Put me back in.
No, I think that's an excellent point. I think like you said, like the fact that you can unpack and kind of realize like why am I this angry? Why am I acting this way? Why am I like not understanding like my frustration? And I think that's such a great point. It's like things that you have to unpack in yourself so you can be better in your relationship.
Yeah.
You know, like just those small things that you don't realize. Like Steph and I have had like it was like an argument a very long time ago, and I didn't realize that I didn't like how the argument went, and it had nothing to do with you. It had to do with the fact that the argument triggered something from my childhood that now I threw onto you. And I'm like, coming back from it, I was like, wait a minute, like that had nothing to do with you. It was just screaming trauma.
Yeah.
And now the trauma, I have now thrown it up onto you and expected you to deal with my trauma. And now I'm staring at you and you're looking at me like, wow, you know, that was not for me. And then coming to look at you and going, well, now I have to apologize. And not only apologize, but now I have to look at myself and go, how do I fix that trauma so that it does not appear back into any more of our conversations, any more of our discussions, any more of our arguments, and just really like take a look in the mirror, I feel like, and really like digest that, like, if this is one trauma, is there anything else that comes with it, you know? So for sure, the unpacking, I definitely feel that.
It's like, you know, and it's not like we're unpacking for a lifetime. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, even for the day, just unpacking for a moment, you know, like, it's like, man, ooh, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Because I feel like feelings and stuff, you know, especially with me. Ooh, I was gonna get into this. I don't like feelings, so I just feel like they could be just so heavy. Like, I don't like sad feelings. I don't like happy feelings. I don't like feelings in general. I
don't like feelings. I don't like to feel.
Being a robot.
You can't live life as a robot, though.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. Like, I just feel it's like, you know, like sad feelings is like heavy. Angry feelings, that's heavy.
Yeah.
Even for me, sometimes happy feelings are heavy because sometimes I feel like when I'm so happy and thrilled about something, I can't allow myself to like really be happy about something that I really want to be happy about, or because I feel like if I let my guard down, the other shoe's gonna drop.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
that definitely hits somewhere for sure.
I can't even. Well, I guess when I unpack, I feel like, okay, I do feel better because it'll be like, man, I'm so happy about this, but why can't I even
enjoy the happiness?
And I know that. I feel like that all the time. Like, even sometimes you'll be like, oh, aren't you excited? And I'll be like, oh, you know, I don't count all my chickens until they hatch. But in reality, it's like, nah, I just don't want to get excited about stuff because I just feel like, you know, you get too excited or you let your guard down, I feel like, about stuff or about life. I feel like life happens, you know, and it's like, oh, I just feel like the moment I get too comfortable, it's gonna be like, damn. So
do you feel like that comes from like something prior to, like, do you feel like you can't enjoy things or you can't find happiness in things because, you know, like something that caused you to feel like you were constantly having the foot drop, like, you know, the shoe drop after you were happy?
I don't know, man. I think maybe my whole life is like that, really, if you know that.
Yeah.
If you think about it. You know? Obviously, it's too much for us to unpack in this episode. That's for us and therapists. But, yeah, I feel like my whole life is like that, though. Like, it's like, things are always like, you know, surprise. You know, surprise.
Yes.
Boom. Blew your life up.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like, so, even when I'm happy, I'm, like, on edge. Because I'm like, wait a minute, things are going too good now.
Yeah.
Don't let something weird happen. You know, I'm like,
something's coming.
I'm like, something's coming. Man, don't let me trip off down a random marble and fall down the steps now or something like that. You know?
You always go so dramatic. Like, why can't you think of things simply like, oh no, I might like trip on a pebble.
I don't want to go to therapy. They're like, yo, something's still wrong with these human beings. They're like,
no, I don't.
Shit is twisted.
I think, like, for me, like, I'm a huge supporter of therapy, and I will suggest it to the person who's willing to hear it. Yeah. Because therapy, number one, is not for everyone. And I'll be very honest with you. In the amount of people that I've talked about therapy with, I feel like there's two kinds of people. There's the people that are like, therapy, something must be wrong, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other person that's willing to go, but with the people that are willing to go, I feel like people think of what they see on TV, right? They see therapists.
1, 2.
Huh?
Like a 1, 2.
Yeah.
Bam.
They see a therapist, they see like the whole understanding of what therapy is on TV, and they go, okay, within like 1 or 2 therapy sessions, I'm cured. And it's like, no. You know, like, don't get me wrong, like, your therapist is supposed to be able to figure out, you know, what needs to be done in order for you to heal, to fix things within yourself, to, you know.
And I don't even think it's for them to figure out. I think it's for them to help you.
That's a great point. Yes.
Figure out, you know.
To help you figure out.
To help you understand.
Yeah.
You know, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, some people want that.
Yeah. As far as like me, I love telling people like, hey, like, you know, we go to therapy.
Yeah.
I love telling people like, you should go.
Weird. What?
Yeah, I'm so used to the look.
Yeah.
You know,
you should stop telling people you should go to therapy. You be telling them you should go to therapy, and it's like, hey man, psst, psst. What's that mean? Hey.
Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm a huge. You know me.
Not me, but TikTok.
The TikTok, yeah, the sound. I'm such a huge. I'm a mental health, like, enthusiast. Like, if somebody tells me like they have anxiety, I'm like, tell me about your anxiety. Like, how do you feel? Like, I want to know more. I want to know, like.
Yeah, but you just want to know it. It's like.
It's not even like, oh, I'm trying to like send them to therapy or like therapize them or anything like that. It's just like, for me, I'm like, I want to hear. I feel like you're comfortable to tell me. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Like, when somebody tells me, oh, I have anxiety, I'm like, tell me. Mm-hmm. Talk to me. Because for me, I feel like when I talk about my therapy, I am like an open book. Yeah. I'm like, I'll talk about it all day long. If it makes you uncomfortable, whatever. To me, I'm like, it is what it is. But I know that if I open my mouth and I tell somebody I have anxiety and they haven't been able to like settle with it in their brain, and they notice how like I'm able to talk about it, I feel like I'm saving your life. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm saving in that concept, if that makes any sense. Like,
yeah, I understand you wanting that to be, but I would say whether or not you're saving someone's life, it's up to the person. Right? Yeah. You know, almost like when somebody says, I have life-changing information. Well, you can't decide whether your information is life-changing. It's for someone else to say or decide.
That's good.
Oh my gosh.
That's good. I like that. That's so good. Yeah.
That's what I think. You know.
I think you're absolutely correct. I think so.
But you could try to help. All you can do is try to help.
That's realistically, and again, that's, you know, what this podcast is about, is like understanding like therapy is okay, you know. Going to therapy with your partner is okay.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be taboo. Doesn't have to be frowned upon. It's like, you and I are going to get through this thing called life together.
Right.
You know, we've settled on that. Like, we're like, you and I are going to run this thing to the ground, or until, you know, whatever. But that's basically our understanding, is like, we're gonna go through this and make sure that our relationship is the best it can be and enjoy it to the fullest. I think that the fact that we did add therapy into our lives is just another way of expressing our love for each other.
Yeah.
Because we were willing to go, I love you enough to go to therapy with you to make sure that we're doing like everything we can, you know, in ourselves and in our relationship.
Yeah.
You know, so
I think so. You know.
I think that's the beauty of it. I think that when we think of therapy, when we think of mental health, I feel like if we can't make it a common conversation, it's like, when are we gonna stop like turning a blind eye to it, you know?
Yeah. I think turn the common conversation, yeah. But I just feel like we don't have to tell people to go, because it's up to them to decide whether they want to.
Yeah.
You know, almost like in religion, like, you know, like obviously, you know, we go to church and stuff. So explaining what God did for them, or their testimony, and how they love God, and, you know, those situations, those perspectives make me want to know in God more, you know, and especially when people talk about, oh, like how much they, you know, they love God or something, you know, or how much they feel God's love. It's like, man, I would love to be that close. But that's because just based on their own explaining. But what I don't like, for at least for me, is when people are like, you need to go to church. You should follow God. I don't like that. Because then I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
And even though I don't feel like for what,
yeah,
it's my immediate response, because I don't want to be pushed into doing something.
Yeah.
Just because you do it.
Yeah.
I want to feel it for myself. But what makes me feel it is hearing someone else's perspective of it makes me rethink it and go, you know what? Yeah, like, you know, with therapy, you know, I feel like some of those, you know, like when we talk to the couples and they're like, oh, you know, the therapy worked for them. The reason why we decided wasn't because, or at least for me, the reason why I'll say it for me, the reason why I decided wasn't because any one of them said, you need to go. They said one of the biggest thing that helped us was going to therapy right away. You know, first year of marriage, or after 10 years, you know, we went to therapy. It wasn't like, you should go, you need to go, you and your partner, you and your wife, you need to go sit down. It was just like, that was big for us. So I guess that's why sometimes I'll be like, I hear you, you know, with mental health advocate, you know, I feel you. I'm here with you, and I agree, you know. But I think whether or not people should go, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Do we feel like it's a great thing? Yeah. And I love doing it. And, you know, when we tell stories about something funny that happened, you know, in therapy or something, it's hilarious to us. But I feel like maybe those things will help someone. But it doesn't have to be like
forced upon.
Yeah. At least for me. That's what I think. It's like, I don't like to be too pushy.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know it turns me off.
Yeah.
I don't know about other people, because everybody's different. But for me, that, like, whenever somebody's like, oh, you should do that, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And what's it gonna do? You know, even if I actually believe that.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'm always more comfortable with hearing testimony and hearing, like, you know, like when we be talking about therapy, I feel like that's his own testimony. Like, yeah, you know, we had this good experience, or people ask, well, how is that? Yeah, well, it's good. You know, we did this or whatever, or, you know, but the moment I feel like, you know, if we're like, somebody's you should go.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
People get defensive.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's what I think.
I think that's a good point. Yeah. That's very, very true. I think when you get pushed into a corner and basically are shoving it down somebody's throat, you're like, you need to go to therapy, you need to do this. It's like somebody's so quick to be like, not even going to think about it. No. They're going to push away, and they're immediately going to be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
So no, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's an excellent point. I think so. What would you, if a couple that was just like brand new, they just got married like 5 days ago, what would you tell them as far as, like, if they asked you, like tell me something good, like you said, what would you...
Therapy. No. Tell me something good. Yeah, definitely the therapy one. That's definitely not one of my marital tops. I'm gonna steal that from a couple of the older couples that we've just because I feel like it definitely advances. Mm-hmm. Tell me something good. I would say to get your ego in check, because is your ego more important or bigger than the love that you have for your partner? No, because if it is, you're gonna have a big ass problem.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're gonna have a big ass problem. Because I feel like, even when, like, if you're wrong about something, I'll come make up with you. Or if I'm wrong, it's not always, the person who's wrong is the person who makes up. Sometimes it's not really even that deep. So are you willing to let it get deep enough to add some distance? So get through it and, go back to, like, loving on each other or whatever. Because, like I said, some things don't even really be that deep.
Yeah.
And that shit will run deep just because of ego. So check your ego.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. That's a great...
That's mine. What's yours?
Mine would definitely have to be the argument was not that deep.
You just tried to... No,
man.
No.
I had already thought about it.
No,
so when
man.
you said it, I was
get
like...
something else. I already said it.
Okay.
I already said it.
In any situation, in anything that's going on, choose your partner first. Lead with your partner. Think of your partner first before anything else. Anything else could be happening. Think of your partner first.
Restructure what I said and restructure what you said that you weren't allowed to say. But it's okay. It's okay. So let's just say we agree. Yay! We agree.
You are ridiculous. I cannot.
We agree. I love that. I love that for you. I love that for us.
No, I love this. That's what happens when we do.
I love that for me. I'm so wise that you could get what I said out of your head. What are you gonna say?
This is what happens when we try to do podcast episodes at 1 o'clock in the morning.
And now I'm sick. It wasn't 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock now.
It's definitely 1 o'clock.
But
it is. Yeah.
Almost. Yeah, but it's mainly because I'm sick. Oh my God, I can't even breathe.
No, we have to.
Like I'm speaking through my no. People say through your nose, but like.
No, it's definitely you're speaking through like. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was a yawn.
Well, thank you for being on my podcast.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. Oh, did you just boop me?
I definitely did.
Wow.
I appreciate you and thank you for always being my amazing support system. And we wouldn't have the setup that we have now if it wasn't for you.
Hey, introducing production.
Yeah. The production team, the lighting team, the everything team.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wouldn't look as fantastic if it wasn't for you.
Oh my gosh, get out of here. You look great always.
Thank you.
Any last words? Last words for your audience?
It's definitely not go to therapy.
Okay.
It's do what's best for you. Whatever that may be, do what's best for you. Do what's best for your relationship. Do what's best for you, like I said. So with lots of love and lots of care, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Are you going to give him a kiss? You got to blow a kiss.
Oh, I have to blow?
Yeah, you have to blow a kiss.
Oh, you know what? Let me put a little chapstick on my lips first before I, hold on. That's the chapstick.
Okay, that's good.
Being rubbed around. Yeah.
Bye.